One of the biggest barriers to changing culture is something called the knowing-doing gap. Looks like this. You're in a certain spot, and as an organization, you have the knowledge that you need to get somewhere. Over here, let's say. And you want to cross this gap. You know, for example, maybe it's something simple like, this is a wasteful activity, we should stop doing it. And of course, there are many reasons for this gap, but culture is one of the most powerful forces in an organization, preventing you from changing, from crossing that knowing-doing gap. In the Real Agility program, we assist you with this. We have systematic tools and techniques to help you cross that gap. Now, as you're going to cross that gap, often you'll think, oh man, this is silly, we should have been doing this all along, or this seems so easy, why is it so hard? Well, part of that is about people's psychology. And there's a nice illustration of this, which is the adoption curve. So over time, the people who adopt usually follow a pattern that looks a little bit like a bell curve. They adopt change gradually. Some people adopt change very quickly. These are often referred to as innovators or early adopters. Now, these people don't require a lot of support. They will see a new idea, and at least for the particular thing that you're trying to change, they'll jump on board without any help, without any discussion. They'll be like, yeah, let's go do it. Those people, of course, we don't have to help them. They'll help themselves. As a manager, you don't have to help them. They'll help themselves. They can become allies in your change. But then there's a big gap. The next category of people are called the early majority. And these are the people who need proof. They need examples. They need at least anecdotes of success, showing that whatever change you're trying to adopt is already proving its value. Now, early majority, these are folks who constitute all of the people who are often very willing, they're sincere, they're able to sort of see the potential benefit, but they're going to want some sort of support. And this is where you, as a manager, become critical. This is when it starts. This program of change requires substantial systematic support for the early majority. After the early majority, we have the late majority. And the late majority, they're not quite resistance per se, but they really need a lot of time in order to sort of get over that resistance. And it's not malicious resistance, it's sincere concerns. They tend to be risk-adverse people in whatever kind of change you're discussing. Again, as a manager, you have a huge amount of work here to do, and you can't expect these people to change quickly. Even with the best proof, they will need time to come to terms with change. The final category, the laggards. These are people who actively resist change. And unfortunately, with the laggards, often they have to move on. So often moving on within a Real Agility organization means finding other roles or positions for them where their resistance is no longer an issue. Now, once people have made the change, the next question becomes sustainability. How do you make it so that this new culture actually persists? Often, in the face of challenges, people will revert back to their habits, what they know. And there's two factors which are really critical for this. One is truthfulness. In order to see the big picture, to understand where the challenges are, where the opportunities are, this is absolutely essential. It's the foundation. So the politics has to go away. You can't be misdirecting people. And if you see other people doing these things, you have to call it out. It has to become open and transparent. The other key aspect of sustainability is love. This is challenging in organizations. People need to love what they're doing, and they need to love the people that they're working with. Love is the strongest driver of change. When people love what they're doing and who they're working with, change is easy and it sustains. Now, you as a manager are responsible for creating this environment with all of these different things, acknowledging the pace of change is different for different people, acknowledging that the knowing-doing gap is hard to get over, and acknowledging and supporting the creation of a truthful and loving atmosphere in an organization. This is what real agility requires. Contact us at Berteig. We transform people, process, and culture through the power of real agility.